Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, September 30th at midnight. The big story, GFS models showing heavy snow moving into Alberta, ending the harvest season there, essentially. Saskatchewan is not far behind. So it may be that anyone who hasn't harvested anything west of Saskatchewan is over with. Look at these totals coming in at over 4 feet here in British Columbia in the second week of October. We need you to keep calm. It is boom time. 40 inches of snow in Montana. It's February, not September, according to this storm, says many. Helena, Montana. A powerful winter storm socked much of Montana with a wave of heavy snowfall on Sunday, with weekend totals climbing to 40 inches in some places and breaking century-long daily records. Never mind that it has only just turned to fall, Governor Steve Bullock declared a winter emergency as cars skidded off highways. Communities lost power and farmers despaired at the damage to crops that were still in the ground. It's a February storm in September, said Jeff Mao, who was mowing the lawn just days before, according to Diamond, superintendent of Glacier National Park. 40 inches of snow. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. That doesn't look like it's good. Careful on the bridge decks. Wet roads are still dangerous. Now, the snowfall totals were staggering for any time of year. 40 inches in Browning since Friday, and 38 inches in St. Mary. Say a hail if you want to. Records were tumbling across the state. On Saturday, the National Weather Service reported snow at the Missoula International Airport. There had not been a trace of snow reported on any September 28th since 1893. Whew. That is amazing. Great Falls was blanketed in 9.7 inches of snow on Saturday, topping a daily snowfall record of 6.1 inches that had been set back in '54. And by Sunday, another 4.8 inches of snow had fallen there. Can you imagine the epic proportions, the records falling? And they're not falling by inches. They're falling by feet. Sacramento sets record low temperature ahead of thunderstorms in Northern California. You can't even make this up. A new record low Sunday morning ahead of more stormy weather set to hit Northern California this afternoon, with forecasters at the National Weather Service scratching their heads. I'm a little stuffy. Take a look. Record-breaking snowfall in Missoula. Old record back in '34. According to the National Weather Service in Missoula, the overnight snowfall has broken the all-time September snowfall record ever. The new record as of Sunday is 1.6 inches of snowfall. The old record, 1.5. And this picture, well, has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with the rest of the story. Winter weather has knocked out power for just a few thousand people, and there's Gremlin. We love her. And it's been a rude awakening in Big Sky Country. That's a well or some shit. I don't know. With green leaves still dominating the fall foliage, as well as here, an unusual winter weather walloped north central Montana over the weekend, burying a 65-year-old snowfall record in Great Falls, canceling schools in Glacier County, and causing treacherous driving conditions and power outages. A rude awakening, said Dan Castro, a 45-year-old Great Falls resident, as he trudged through the snow as he crossed Central Avenue, West Bridge, on his way home. He said, "Get your hole out!" Fucking prick. As the relentless snow refused to quit. Schools and tribal offices were closed Monday in Browning due to snow. More than 3 feet of snow has fallen in some areas. And there's that picture again. Due to more than 3 feet of snow that has fallen on Friday, Browning Public Schools will be closed on Monday. Since Friday. I didn't say that. See, that makes it all the difference. Don't leave that word out. Montana is blanketed in almost 2 feet of snow, 3 feet in other, according to other articles, and 40 inches in some articles. And it's not even October. Can you imagine the discrepancy? Historic winter storm is dumping 3 feet of snow in this article, smashing records in the West, which is the best. Teton County, Montana. Oh, look at those Tetons. Holy shinoly. 1 week after summer's end, a winter storm began blasting parts of the West with up to 3 feet of snow, smashing records with low temperatures, 40 inches in some areas, heavy snow, strong winds, and blizzard conditions forecast into Monday. It's like a broken record. It's like I almost need to do a dab. Beautiful. There's peanuts there, for Christ's sake. Take a look. Check the progress of snowfall in East Glacier today. It's still continuing. 8 a.m., 2 feet. 12 p.m., 3 feet. 4 p.m., 4 feet. That is 3 inches an hour for 8 hours of power. Montana's snow shatters Great Falls record. What we know and what it means to you. Well, it means the snowfall has shattered records. By noon Sunday, Great Falls saw 18.8 inches of snow. It was still falling. Accumulations of 6 to 12 were expected. The 9.7 inches of snow recorded Saturday broke the daily one-day September snowfall record all-time for the city, and an additional 9.1 inches of snow had fallen by noon Sunday, bringing the total to 18.8, and the most recorded ever in this region was 15.5 in Cutbank back in 34. And we're looking at totals way above that. Holy shinoly. It's not over. It's still happening while I'm speaking. And articles like this are coming out. The blizzard in the Rockies doesn't disprove climate change, but people will say it doesn't. Records that eclipse all-time recording since the 1800s means that you're burning up. And Greta was right. And just a year ago or two, most of the alarmists said we would never see snow. And it was just summer and there could be 4 feet of snow, ending crop harvest for many regions in almost 30% of Canada. And look at this. We're talking 50% maybe if these models come true. Another ethanol plant is shutting down. That means there's no corn. Or the GMO corn that was purported to feed the world has no value. Either way, nobody's getting fed. And now we go to Canada. Shall we? Shall we do a tippy touch up in the nether regions while we dab? That looks like my chalet. Not. Certainly looks like my car at any moment in the near future. 8:50 a.m. September 29th, 2019 from Improvement District Number 4, Waterton, Alberta. Buried! Are you kidding me? This is the first week of fall. Summer was just 10 days ago. And this is not playing according to my plan. Holy macaroni. Maybe I should do another puffy. What's happening? Look at this. Look at the first week of fall. Isn't it beautiful? I love it when the colors change. We can all eat wine and cheese and figure out why this isn't working. Escape. Just hit escape. Fierce winter storm buries cars, brings 70 plus centimeters of snow to the prairies. Those fairies. I thought they were Al Gore apologists, but it's not so. Early morning figures from Sunday already saw some mountain areas completely blow past the 60 centimeter mark, which apparently is a mark. One location at 80 centimeters. That's like up to your... Making matters worse are strong winds gusting that up to your nips. Picking up during the day, making for blizzard-like conditions along the south of the province. Oops, I'm stuck, like Chuck. Yeah, you might not even be able to open your door, Al Gore. Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! I can't believe that, Brick. I can't even believe it. Roads turn dangerous as record snowfall hits the hat. Now, this shit's moving east. Medicine Hat, Alberta. We're not talking, well, you know the other one down here in the lower 48. A snowfall record has been set as winter storm has made driving on the area highways treacherous on Sunday. As of Sunday afternoon, traffic on westbound lanes in the Trans-Canada West Redcliffe are affected by jackknife semis and other schlemis. Eastbound lanes near Gleichen are affected by a spun-out vehicle, which is not a schmearkle. It's a problem. Medicine Hat, Cypress County, and areas across southern Alberta remain under winter storm warnings with driving not recommended. And Brooks, Bassano, and Redcliffe RCMP are against any can travel. So, that means if you're not prepared, you're fucked. Mounties say visibility in the Trans-Canada Highway is down to 100 meters. Which means if you don't have any food and you get out of your car and start walking, you're dead within through a mile. Yeah. And it's fall, the first week, isn't it? Wasn't it summer, 10 days? Anyway. Shit, it was like a week ago, summer. Phi angle sitting at that 180 for the last 12 hours, and that is hours of boom time. It doesn't bode well. Major activity here off the coast of Chile. Kicking off at 7.2 earlier, downgraded to 6.8, reducing it a magnitude of almost 400 times. Can you believe that? Well, it is the USGS downgrade service. Major activity in Colombia. Yes. Aurora forecast is killer. So as you get buried in snow, go outside and look at the light show. Why not? What else do you have to do? Roads are shut down. Worldwide volcano news update. Well, KP is nowhere near zero, so the volcanic activity has quieted down. Slight puff from Sabancaya at 24,000. Links below. Life on Mars could be found within 2 years. Now, NASA is close to finding life on Mars, according to this article, which is either extremely misleading or absolutely idiotic. And Conrad Duncan is the stupidest reporter on Earth, because what he's revealed is that NASA already knows about life on Mars. Because it says NASA is close to finding life on Mars. Let's see if we can just highlight that. Can we do that? Look at this. How do they know that? How does anyone know that? How does the Independent know that? How does Conrad Duncan know that? Why would he write that? What a toolbox. Short article. But you're about to find out that we already know there's life on Mars because we dumped some shit up there with bacteria. So we definitely put life up there. Not only that, there was like probably cities and a bunch of teeming other shit up there before it just got blown away 12,000 years or less ago. But NASA is close to finding life on Mars, and they don't think that the population can deal with it. Your minds are going to blow. You'll be like, oh my God, what does that mean? Will I still have the internet? Let's talk about life on Earth, which we don't know anything about. The entire history you've been taught is bullshit. But Professor Dr. Vecchi at the Kortik Tepe. Now that's what we're talking about. If you guys don't know about Göbekli Tepe, then you haven't been watching this channel long. But Göbekli Tepe is the most significant archaeological find in human history, and it happened in the last few decades. The main investigator from Germany died mysteriously in his 60s as the AAAS published papers saying that the hunter-gatherers that built Göbekli Tepe were a skull cult of hunter-gatherer idiots that didn't know anything. But just a few miles away at Kortik Tepe, they've uncovered a city of people that could have built Göbekli Tepe. And this city dates back to 12,500 years ago, at the beginning of the Younger Dryas catastrophe. This is at the peak of the Ice Age. Sea levels are 400 feet lower at this point in time, and there is a culture, an advanced society that doesn't know how to farm. They're hunter-gatherers. They're absolute barbarians because none of these articles are coming out in English. And they were able to carve, not in reverse fashion, like carvings we've done for the last 12,000 years, but in bas relief. Reverse carvings. These people were living in the alternate universe, which is the real universe. And their carvings were in bas relief. Look at this creature here on the edge of one of the T-pillars, which weigh between 10 and 50 tons. And here are the handbags that everyone's been carrying, with the pineal gland in the other hand. Time immemorial. Carved 12,000 years ago. And the stork. And the comet. And the scorpion. It's amazing. This is Göbekli Tepe. And this is Kortik Tepe. The people that built Göbekli Tepe. Being unearthed in the last few months, and nothing in the Western world is reporting on this. The most significant archaeological find in modern history that pushes modern culture and advanced thought back to 12,500 years and further back. It has to go back thousands of years prior to this for these people to be this advanced, to make this astronomical calendars. Thousands of them up on Göbekli Tepe. And then 50 miles away where they're living, and they're moving these stones kilometers that weigh 10 tons. No one in the Western world is reporting on this. These are people that have very advanced burial systems where there are specific tools and jewels that are adorned on these burials that are tools that were never used. They're specifically made for the burial 12,500 years ago. Not only that, there are hundreds of obsidian and extremely hard rock types that we can barely carve today that were made into advanced tools and hooks and other types of implements that were used for, and every single carving is in bas relief. 12,500 years ago. We didn't relearn this until recently. Hello? And the same art on these stones that were used for God knows what purpose to make fire are the same patterns at Göbekli Tepe. And here are some of the vessels recovered. Now these vessels and this artwork is 12,500 years old. And have you read one article in the mainstream about them discovering this within the last few months? This is the most significant archaeological find ever. And if it's not, it's because the other ones have been covered up by the Smithsonian, the powers that be, that don't want you to know about your past. But what you're looking at are vessels from an advanced culture that built the pyramids and Machu Picchu and other things worldwide. They had traveled the world. They had mapped the planet. There was an ice-free Antarctica. They had populated that region. And this history is being hidden from you, but I'm sharing it with you because none of it's in English and the algorithms will not catch it because the mainstream hasn't caught it. These are bas relief carvings, and they served a purpose. And it's anyone's guess what the fuck this stone did. But it's 12,500 years old. These made fire. This made magic. Now let's look at some of the jewelry. This jewelry is 12,500 years old from a skull cult group of hunter-gatherer nomads that were idiots with no language and no purpose. Yet they had microscopic, intricate fish hooks made of stone in 3 examples, and bone, sewing needles, and other tools that are unexplained. But they're just hunter-gatherers. They don't know anything. We didn't learn to farm or speak for thousands of years. Here's some more of the recently unearthed marble bowls and pottery and jewelry and other adornments from 12,500 years ago. From Kortik Tepe, just a few miles from Göbekli Tepe. Is this on nature.com or have you heard this on National Geographic? I doubt it. Cannibalism and kindness. When Joseon crops fail, people starve. The moon of the year was the tool of divination, and it failed in 1902 when cannibalism took hold as well as kindness. If you want to know what happens during the next grand solar minimum, the centennial minimum, or any other solar minimum that imparts doom on the planet, like the one you're living, welcome to the new winter doom. For the next 4 months, I'm going to be reporting on some of the biggest records in all-time history that have ever been recorded worldwide, and how the mainstream media will respond to this based on their global warmest climate agenda that they have set up for 3 decades is beyond me. But I am happy to follow the rabbit hole as it unfolds. And if you want to follow the facts that we've been purporting for 2.5 years here on the channel, read the article and find out what happens when it gets dry just for a few years because of late snows all the way into May, like happened this year, and early snows that happen in September. A September to remember. If you don't want to eat your children, you better be prepared. Prepared, not scared. Preparewiththeranch.com. Leah and I have at least 1 year for 2 people of food supplies that are 25 years shelf life, and probably 3 years of other supplies on top of that. And you should have that too. Why wouldn't you want peace of mind? And now is a great time to focus attention on the importance of preparing with preparewiththeranch.com. Just type that in. Preparewiththeranch.com, enter. And you can get 4 weeks of food for $167. And that's guaranteed delivery in 2 days, free shipping. Once you hit $99. Now, you're getting the best deal here, so don't get it anywhere else. If you want Patriot Supply, do it here. Do it, Dad. Do it now. Check out our Amazon store. Prepared, not scared. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. It's early winter and fall has just started. Have you started to learn how to grow food indoors? Buy a mini aero farm. Do something. Anything that matters. Do it now.